I also see where's the reality of pain. On top of that, home equity reports of those seriously underwater, not looking that great. And if you're looking for immigration concerns in the United States, well, let's just say immigration could be the reason you might not see rate cuts declining this year. And that includes illegal immigration. Let's get started there on today's Meet Kevin report. So the permanent population increase from immigration ultimately is concluded by Bloomberg to create a net positive demand shock, ultimately boosting prices and wages. The problem is, it takes years for a new group of people to actually solidly integrate into an economy and create that productive boost that you would expect from GDP. In other words, I think the way I like to think about it is, imagine you had a factory and you added on another part to the building and you stuck a bunch of people and machines in it. It takes a couple years for that part of the factory to actually really start firing on all cylinders, cranking out goods and services. But in the meantime, it feels like you're spending more money on that machinery and on human capital, basically creating this feeling of stagflation because your wage expenses are up, your goods and services, well, your goods on the machinery expenses are up, so it feels like prices are up. Remember, prices and wages going up. You don't actually have the output yet. That's just an analogy that I like to use, but it basically mirrors what Bloomberg suggests. They see that the 7 million immigrants that have come into the United States.
Welcome to Stay Woke TV. I'm your host, DJ Gremlock. Today we are watching stocks. Fuck, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. Get y'all ass up. It's DJ Gremlock. This is Stay Woke TV. Let's go.
Between 21 and 2023, which have included 5 million who do not yet have lawful residence, are going to create stagflationary effects for the next 2 years, leading to the likelihood that we'll have higher interest rates for longer. Now, again, in 1 to 2 years, maybe we'll see a stronger economy, assuming we don't go into a recession before that. Now, the part about going into a recession before that is my opinion. Bloomberg suggests it's going to feel like stagflation, and then we'll go to boom. And I'm kind of like, well, who says we got to go from here to here? We could also go, ooh, especially as those higher rates hit. And that's something Bloomberg hits on as well. They suggest that the lagged effects of high interest rates could hit at the same time as the higher spending on labor and higher spending on products while productivity falls and housing becomes more expensive. And minimum wage hits take longer for businesses to actually really integrate into their businesses to increase and boost productivity. So in English, rents up from immigration, more housing problems, higher for longer rates, at the same time as wages and prices are still going up. It's going to feel a whole lot like stagflation, leaving the Fed not to act as soon as we might expect, thanks to immigration. And 70% of that immigration is coming through that southwest border. So immigration clearly an issue, but at least today, per the Atlanta Fed, GDP is not an issue, with GDP currently sitting at 4.2% per the Atlanta Fed. Now, this, I think, is, dare I say, almost ludicrous, but you can see a picture of it here. This is well up from their estimates of 3.2 to 3.7 in April, and they see GDP at 4.2% in Q2. Absolutely nuts, but they do. Now, remember, GDP is not just what consumers are spending money on, because in that case, we'd probably be in a recession. For example, you could see what the president of Blackstone says with, quote, "We see a deceleration of growth. Central banks will be slow on cutting rates, though. So, can you really invest before the all clear sign?" In other words, like, hey, things could get a little dicey going forward here. We got to be a little bit careful. This isn't good. And then you look at companies like Etsy and you're like, maybe we're already in a recession. Now, we're going to talk Etsy, and then we got to get into that homeowner equity report, and we got to talk Trump. Take a look at this. This is what we've got from Etsy. Etsy reports in their earnings call just a few days ago, these headwinds are real, and they do not appear to be abating. Consumer wallet remain squeezed. Consumer sentiment remains depressed. Macro quite challenging, especially in the UK and Germany. Consumers feel pressured, seeking value and discounts, and China is providing those discounts. Shout out to Temu there, as well as probably Alibaba and Starbucks. Etsy sellers now apparently feel no pricing power. They've actually been in this situation probably for a little over a year now. And even regular spenders are spending less. Here are the screenshots of it, and we can see a little bit more here. Very high cost of money. Gross merchandise sales continue to be pressured by macro factors, specifically related to consumer discretionary. Remember, this is just one part of the economy. You know, Joe Biden's spending on the Inflation Reduction Act, infrastructure spending, military defense contractor spending, exports, all of those things contribute to our GDP outside of consumer discretionary. You know, continued high prices in real estate, all of those aspects contribute to GDP. So you can have a really weak consumer. The question is, what happens when the other parts start falling in line with recession? That's when you get a real recession. And unfortunately, one of those, and this was interesting too, habitual buyers decreased their purchases 3% year over year. And they continue to observe a trend where some habitual buyers purchase slightly fewer items or spend slightly less and no longer meet the definition of being a habitual buyer. Yikes. So we're really seeing some softness there on that consumer discretionary side. Not great. But at least homeowner equity is up, right? No. Get ready for this report right after I take a sip. While I take this sip, make sure to check out those courses on building your wealth over at meetkevin.com. We had another profitable trading day yesterday. Only up a little over $3,700 yesterday, traded with about 14,000.
What's going on, chat, man? What y'all boys been up to, man? Freaking trying to get this freaking thing to work. Got this dang sorry ass Chinese freaking thing that may be broken. I may have to figure something out. I could put another one on, but I don't feel like looking for it. This one works. I don't know why it's acting up. Just stupid. But we should be good. Alright, play it naked.
So percentage-wise, it's pretty good, but had I not fat-fingered, I would have been up about 8K. I was live trading, and so I live traded that 8K profit. But unfortunately, while I was live trading in the Course Member Live, which you'd always get access to, Lauren, Max, and Jack walked in. It's not to blame them. I take full responsibility. I made a little oopsie-doopsie, but I accidentally doubled down before closing my position, and that, 2-minute oopsie-doopsie cost me about 4K, but I was still up on the day because we had that many gains. So if you want all my buy-sell alerts, make sure you join that Stocks Insight course. It's always your own fault. Never blame somebody else. Remember, when you point the finger, 3 fingers always point back at yourself. So double check your trades before you hit that button. I know sometimes it's so exciting. But yeah, live trading, family, and and trying to explain it all at the same time, a little challenging. Anyway, check that out. Think about that. Meetkevin.com. Let's get into the homeowner equity report, and it's an oopsie doopsies. Cheers. Good old Kahlua coffee in the morning. All right, homeowner equity. This is an interesting one. Lowest level in 2 years, and the percentage of seriously underwater homes per a home equity report by ATTOM increased to 2.7% from 2.6% last quarter. Seriously underwater homes include homes with at least 25% more debt than the estimated home value. Now, that's actually crazy because that means you would have had to have essentially almost 100% financing, and then the market would have had to have fallen on you substantially. So maybe like in Austin, Texas, where you did see a big kind of oopsie-doopsie off some of that peak pricing we've seen. The report says that this spring will be important for telling us if this is a longer-term trend or not. So in other words, they're saying, hey, buckle up. Things could actually get a whole lot worse before they get better. So maybe you ought to buckle up and be prepared and be a little patient before rushing to buy. 1 in 37 homes are now seriously underwater, and the least underwater are in the Northwest. So think like, the richer parts of New York and the richer parts of the West, like California, parts of California. I personally note that this is not surprising given that these are the areas with the highest concentration of NIMBYs, the not in my backyard folks. And it's either a result of NIMBYs or the lack of building or both. And specifically, some of these areas also include San Jose, San Mateo, Orange County, so all those coastal California areas, as well as coastal Florida, Palm Beach, and Miami. So not great. Biggest declines in equity were led by Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia, and then Delaware and Indiana. So some pain there, absolutely, in homeowner equity. But where there doesn't appear to be so much pain is, well, at least in court yet for Donald Trump. Although it might have been painful for some folks to listen to Stormy Daniels' quote-unquote salacious testimony. Her testimony has just had a little bit of cold water thrown on it by the Wall Street Journal editorial board. Now, keep in mind, Wall Street Journal editorial board, they are, how should I say, they lean right, okay? No, that's not a big deal. That's not a problem. It's okay to have a tilt with your bias. I always try to be in the middle, which it is like the crappiest position to be in, because I'll tell you, the best example I could give is when I try to be in the middle on the Israel-Gaza situation. If I don't mention enough about the hostages, I get angry emails from Israelis or Jews.
I remember the last time I
that's not bad to say that, okay? They are Jewish, okay? You gotta be so careful. And then if I don't say
just wanted to trade a few things
about the loss of life of children in Gaza every single time, then obviously I don't care about children dying, and how could I not when I have 7 children? It's like, can it just stop? Can it just all stop? Can the death just stop? Can we just have the truths that we're supposedly close to, but we're not close to yet? I don't know. It's just a disaster. So being in the middle is really tough. Much easier to just stay on one side, because then you don't have to repeat yourself over and over again that you see on both sides. Then people are like, oh, but protesters are saying from the river to the sea, which is basically trying to eradicate Israel, and Israel has no homeland then otherwise. And then people are like, but what about the outposts and the settlements in the West Bank? And it's like, okay, we're just trying to report here. Keep in mind that we still have no updates on that truths, and still waiting for more insight from what kind of weapon deliveries are going to be held back from Israel for crossing that blurry red line that Joe Biden gave to Israel. Though, keep in mind, if Israel comes under threat, the United States and the United Kingdom will be the first there on sort of the rescue wagon to make sure Israel is well taken care of. So this whole idea of we're going to withhold weapons, I think is just political nonsense. Anyway, take a look at this. The Wall Street Journal editorial board, they suggest that Trump is entitled to the presumption of innocence. We can agree with that. Everybody should. Even if you don't like Trump, everybody's presumed innocent before proven guilty. The point of Stormy Daniels being on trial was to prove her credibility. This is true. We've talked about that as well. They indicate that her recollection was almost play-by-play, and usually juries don't require that much detail, and they refer to like divorce cases. That's not great because it sort of enhances Stormy's credibility, but then the Wall Street Journal quickly tries to pull that right back down. She says in 2018 on 60 Minutes that she didn't want to have sex with Trump, wasn't attracted to him, but wouldn't say no, yet in her book she calls it an out-of-body experience. She then testified that she tried to leave and Trump tried to stop her once, but she blacked out and didn't know what happened next, despite suggesting she didn't drink or take any drugs. So then the Wall Street Journal makes it clear that this is probably the last chance people have at seeing Trump actually get convicted, if that's what they wanted. I suggest that there's a solid highlight here to credibility challenges. But in fairness, this was 18 years ago, so some blurriness doesn't necessarily mean the incident didn't occur. But that's pretty much the core of the case there, in my opinion. is if the incident didn't occur, or people don't believe Stormy beyond a reasonable doubt, Trump's free. This is a criminal case, so you have the highest burden of proof here, and it's kind of tough to prove, you know, unless you've got screenshots, as we like to say in the gamer world. Screenshots or didn't happen. Well, I don't necessarily know that we want those screenshots, but let's just say there are no screenshots. At least, again, not that that matters, and I'm not imparting an opinion here. Okay, so this gives us a little bit of a heads up of what's going on with Trump. A couple other things. Bank of England may cut sooner and more rapidly than expected. They had their first sort of non-unanimous cut here, stabilizing rate hold, 7.2 and keeping rates stable, but are giving a heads up that they're seeing greater doubt from businesses at being able to pass on higher wage costs. And we are starting to see low GDP outlook, just 1.25% for 2026. At the same time, ARM is down like 7% in the pre-market as the outlook for their fiscal year missed by 2.8%. This was so freaking minor. As opposed to the $4.0 billion expected in revenue, they reported $3.9 billion for the full year ahead in terms of expectations. This is not a big deal, like super minor. The numbers were actually really good from ARM, but they're just not enough to offset some of that crazy Wall Street greed. Oh well, so anyway, that gives you a little bit of an overview of everything from, we've covered the Bank of England. It's also interesting to see them talk about ups and downs in data that, you know, we could see these ups and downs just being normal. And Blackwell chips obviously coming from NVIDIA and could accelerate ARM and data centers. No pricing power over at Etsy. That's been clear for a while. It's, I think, one of the reasons the stock has just been bleeding out the way it has. It's one of the reasons I divested from Etsy probably right around January of 2023 after having exposed myself to them a little bit in November of 22, thinking maybe we'd get a bottom. Nope, not yet. Still no indication that we're there now. The Seriously Underwater Homes report is not ideal, and we'll want to see if that trend continues or if it's just sort of a one-time oopsies. Blackstone, I think, puts it well in their president when they say, hey, maybe we should wait and see, especially in the face of some of those, you know, immigration numbers that are basically propping this stagflationary feeling up. Not great at all. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this Me Kevin Report on number 3. Cheers, and we'll see you next one. Goodbye.
Why not advertise these things?
By, you know, avoiding a recession. Once those job numbers really start ticking up, it's really hard to contain the runaway pain that comes with some of those increasing jobless claims. So hopefully this is just as the Bank of England said this morning, lumpy data. In fact, that was a big thing. The Bank of England just reported that, hey, you know, we're going to keep rates stable, but we may end up cutting faster than expected because, you know, the data's always going to go up and down. Honestly, I think these central banks are starting to get to this point of like, oh crap. That's my take. They're frankly getting to oh crap. We are starting to see the cracks. We're praying inflation starts stabilizing because the signs of these lagged effects of higher rates are becoming more and more clear. So we'll see. But it's worth noting that the survey or the actual jobless claims came in at 231,000 versus the 212 expected. That is above all estimates. Let me see if we had a revision. The prior was only revised up 1K. Prior revised up 1K to 209K. So the revision relatively nominal there. Continuing claims only came in 4K more than expected. Continuing claims versus 1782 expected. And revisions there were actually down 6K with minus 6K in revisions. Okay. So, in terms of data, that's it. This is a pretty sparse week. Tomorrow we'll get U of M sentiment. Let's take a look at the 210s as well, just to see how the 210s are doing. Let's see here. 210s. Now we're still basically at the same level of inversion. So let's look at this. Inversion. Let's call it inversion, break-evens, and yields. So inversion's negative 33 basis points on 210 inversion. Okay, then let's go 5-year break-even. Let's see, if I remember correctly, we were last at like 235, 233 or something like that. We're at 234. All right, 234 on 5-year break-even. And then how about the odds of a rate cut after this claims number? Ooh, this might take 15 minutes or so to update. But yeah, it looks like we're pricing in about 176. 1.76 rate cuts priced in this year. So that's a little bit larger than that like 169 we've noticed previously. So on top of that, you know, we had ARM earnings that honestly, I was really impressed with them. Like, I think the market's really funny where we get some of these, like, these AI numbers, and the numbers, honestly, in AI have just been really good. The big, you know, the Amazons, the Microsofts, all of these numbers have been really good. You know, where you're getting smashed is in the consumer disc. So that's like your Etsy or Starbucks, or, you know, maybe to some extent Uber, but then again Uber blames some of their one-time write-downs there. But I don't really see so horribly much pain there, but in the AI space. But market don't care about that, because the market wants you to beat its crazy wild expectations. So that's okay. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. And by crumbling, I mean falling under $100 here by sitting at 99.24. Somebody, oh, you just noticed the Needler in the background. Nice. Yeah, the Needler. I love this thing.
Hey,
you know what I really ought to do is turn the light on for it.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Have this, this thing's freaking sick. Let's see here. There we go. So now you can see some of the needle lights are on this. I love this thing. So let's see if I can turn it on the shooting mode. Oh, my battery's too low. Nah, too low. You know, I think that's a downside when you use it as a prop. And you go in here and you turn the light on, and then you just sort of leave it on forever. That might end up draining the battery. But yeah, this is like a fully functioning Nerf gun. I kind of like this thing. In fact, I think did I make a link for it? Metkevin.com/Needler. I did! Metkevin.com/Needler. Affiliated product. It's the only thing I've ever seen on Amazon that has a near 5-star review. And it's actually like $40 cheaper than what it used to be. So help your brother out and use Metkevin.com/Needler. So here we go. Just leave that right there. Kind of cool. So there's the arm pump. You set a good example of a man-child for your children. Suck it, JC. Let's see here. When you bind Robinhood, honestly, those Robinhood numbers were really amazing. Really, really good numbers. I was very impressed with that. I haven't gone through their earnings call yet, but very, very good numbers. Let me also check on Roblox here. Oh my god. Wait, dude, it's the line. Holy shit. Look at the lines again. I don't even know what the hell the purple line is. But why is it when I go to these freaking stocks and then they crash 27%, Where do they go? They go to want to meet Kevin's lines. It's always want to meet Kevin's lines. I swear, people are gonna think that like when these lines happen, that like they're just like, you know, like I see it happen and then I draw them really quickly to show them to. It's just it's like I haven't drawn lines on Roblox in probably a year. This is freaking crazy. Holy smokes, dude. Wow, almost perfectly. My line was at 2659 and it wicked down to 2680. That's crazy. I think, you know, what I have noticed, which sort of matches what's going on at Robinhood, the amount of interest in trading stocks has skyrocketed. Like the number of people who are existing course members for our do-it-yourself property management, our efficiency and AI course, that's the gold course, you know, the YouTube course, agent sales course, the real estate course, whatever. The amount of people who are emailing us from those courses that are like, Kevin, like, help us get into the stocks and site course. Can we bundle up? We've been a member for X number of years. We want to bundle up. They email us at staff@meetkevin.com. The amount of emails I'm seeing on that is massive compared to what it used to be. So I don't know if it's the lines, and people are like, Kevin, we want to see the lines, and we want to live trade with you or whatever. Like yesterday, we were live trading. Profitable live trade yesterday. That was fun. But anyway, that was, to me, I guess I could have had like my own little indicator for what Robinhood earnings could have been. But when I mean, you know, now looking at it, when I see Robinhood earnings, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of like what we're feeling as well. So it's interesting. The interest in stocks going back up again. Robinhood's up 7%. Honestly, it's a bargain compared to how good those numbers were. So they really killed it and knocked it out of the park on that one. I was really impressed with that. Now I do want to see what's going on with let's see here with Roblox. So let's find out here. Roblox. Oh, I gotta show this. This was cool. This is just where is it? Okay, while I pull up Roblox. Yesterday, I see Max. He went on some field trip or whatever, and they sent us this little video clip of him at the field trip, and I grabbed a still frame of him because I guess he was done riding the little cart the other kids were in, and so rather than like being normal and saying, hey, can you like stop so I could get out of the cart, the guy's like, see ya. Anyway, meet Max. He's 6. That's crazy. Okay. So, all right. Let's take a look at what's going on with Roblox. All right. All right. Okay. Q2 missed. So, Q2 guide of 885 million versus 9025 mil expected. That's a miss of about 2%. About a 2% miss. How do you drop 27% on a 2% miss? That's freaking crazy. Anyway. Let's see here. Q1 bookings beat. Okay. It's always the guide. Q1 revenue beat by a lot. Beat 801.3 million versus the sorry, hold on here. Q1 revenue. Oh yeah, okay. Versus the 769.3 mil expected. So Q1 beat 769.3. They beat by 4.1%. 4.1% beat. So Q1 beats by about 4%, but the guide smashes them. And then it looks like there's also a fiscal year miss. Hold on a sec. So fiscal year rev no, the fiscal year guide is actually well, yeah, no, the bookings are missed. Fiscal year bookings guide. Okay, that could be why. Fiscal year bookings guide 405 billion, 4.05 billion. Expected was, let's see, that's 14.7, 421 billion. So you missed on that one. 405 divided by 421. Yeah, that's about a 3.8% miss. So it's really that outlook that whacked him there. Oh, ooh, and the Q1 engagement missed. Yeah, probably because parents are finally waking up to the kids spending too much money on the Roblox. See how I add the to make it seem like I'm older? Anyway, it's like, I gotta go on the YouTube to trade the crypto. Anyway, yeah, us personally, we really have to limit how much they play Roblox. They turn into like little devils if they're on it too much. Anyway, so hours engaged, Q1 hours engaged comes in at 16.7 billion hours. My gosh, versus the expected 17.05 billion. And then active users, daily active users were 77.7 million. So if I divide that out, okay, so 16.7 billion. Oh boy, I have to throw some commas in there just to be able to see this. There, 16.7 billion divided by 77.7 million. That's an average of, no, that can't be right. Did I do that math right? 16.7 billion. Yeah, 16.7 billion hours engaged in Q1. And there were 77.7 million active users. In a quarter, that works out to 214 hours. In a quarter. That's crazy. That's 214 hours in a quarter on average per user, or 2.338 hours per day. I guess that makes sense. 2.5 hours per day on average. That makes sense. Okay. All right. It just seems so wild and high. Anyway, let's listen over here for a moment.
Streaming wars and the lack of money that's being spent or allocated, or how all of these big companies are now looking at streaming differently to figure out how to make it make sense. And that plays into the NBA rights. We've got to.
There we go. That was a good transition.
Good segue.
Well done, Becky.
Well, it clicked in my brain at that moment.
Right.
The reason Wall Street no longer looks at this and says you can spend to the sky is because they want to see some return on these things. We're no longer willing to fund it with free dollars. So now you have the battle playing out for the NBA rights. It matters as a partial owner to the Celtics.
Right.
What do you think should happen here? Who do you want to see win this bid? What makes sense?
As I don't have a dog in the hunt. I think having the best price with a.
Don't care about you, Monopoly man with best price. Don't they look like Monopoly man?
I think it's perfect timing because.
Well, let's go see.
Companies and industries have problems.
Yeah,
when
dude.
2 or 3 things come together, not just one thing. So
He just needs his top hat. He needs top hat, and then he needs to go to a monocle. See, that's all we're missing. That's Monopoly man. Look at that. He's got the mustache. You just sort of Google Monopoly man here. See the single. Look, put a top hat on that guy and a monocle. Monopoly man. As he's talking about price. Okay.
work, and that's kind of what they're betting on here.
What about the math of how it works for the company, Geetha? We learned that Warner Bros. Discovery wants to cut costs, wants to raise some of its subscription prices. What happens then if you need to offer a bundle and need to price it competitively to be the super bundle?
Yeah, I think they will. So this partnership here is a little bit different from what these companies have been pursuing. So what we've seen across up until this point has really been bundles more with the telecom providers. So we know like
people are bundling courses. Staff at meetkevin.com.
Verizon was offering kind of the bundle with Max and Netflix. Multiple telcos, you had T-Mobile with Netflix. There's obviously a revenue share agreement here. Obviously, what these companies are trying to do is by doing it themselves without a telco partnership, they're obviously trying to keep more of that profit for themselves. But yes, ultimately, it is going to come down to cutting costs. And this helps them to kind of really cut down on marketing costs. Because if you look at just marketing costs for all of the streaming subscription services, apart from content, marketing and selling expenses are actually one of their biggest cost centers. So this really helps them with that when they kind of pool their resources together.
And that's actually a perfect segue into the question that I wanted to ask. We've talked about subscribers, we've talked about price, we've talked about costs, but content is king in this space. And so how competitive do you think this bundled content will be relative to the other folks that are in the market?
I think that's absolutely what they're betting on. Disney obviously has its own appeal with younger children. HBO Max, as you know, is prestige TV. They're really kind of, and then Hulu right now is kind of getting into more edgy entertainment. And then with Max, remember, you have a whole bunch of movies that are going to come on the service, as with Disney Plus, once they release in theaters. And so that's really kind of what they're betting on here. I mean, you have two superpowers in terms of content IP, in terms of storied brands. And so they're really kind of betting on getting those brands together and appealing to a much broader section of the audience.
Geetha, this was great. It's always great to catch up with you. Geetha Ranganathan there, Bloomberg Intelligence, on the latest streaming effort, trying to get our hands around just how strong this consumer is. I want to go back over.
Not very. Have you read the Etsy report? I just posted the Meet Kevin report for this morning, and you should see what I talk about in there regarding Etsy. Let's just say small PP, inverse PP. Small, tiny PP. Very small. They dream of bigger PP. If only they can get their pricing power up. Alright, so, yesterday on, we've the last couple days in a row, we've sort of been doing earnings and chatting pod style on this channel right after the bell. And yesterday we were sort of evaluating, for the second day in a row, how Warren Buffett is going to deploy some of that cash. He also is looking for stronger PP. All right, so let's take a peek here at BT Sizzle. Something that I've been paying attention to is BTC. Unfortunately, it's under the 61.7 line, and I don't love this. 61.7 is a big deal to me. If you go to the 5-minute chart here, so yesterday we talked about this live yesterday morning, and how breaking it is sort of a bad omen.
There's a gun in here.
So we had a bounce at 61.7. Then we broke through. But look at the rejections. Reject. About to get rejected again. Ooh, thank you for the A99¢. But 61.7 here on BTC, not great. Because if we keep getting rejected, the downtrend is likely to continue, at least in the short term, which is not fantastic. Would like to see some more enthusiasm here, but it's not really coming.
Am I the only one left?
Maybe that's in the face of Roblox here just getting absolutely smashed. I mean, people are obviously still spending money like crazy over here. So I'm surprised at some of the pain here. Focusing resources into advertising, AI. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more on this
really
Roblox investor relations
Still can't
page.
get this?
Let's
Don't
dive
think I
into a
can pick
bit.
this.
But
Won't be able
yeah,
to pick this.
seeing crypto, bro, have a little softness here.
Hey.
Maybe it's just a sign of less sort of enthusiasm
Go check that out.
around investing in just risk assets in general right now. Seems to be more trading going on than investing. I'm one of those people. It doesn't matter.
Check it out.
It doesn't matter to me. But anyway, our teams have been working hard at identifying
Take a look.
opportunities to drive daily active users, hours, and bookings growth rate.
What's she saying?
Back
Over
to
there.
20% a year.
Over there.
We've begun implementing changes to our AI discovery algorithm. Okay, see, to me that's always a red flag. So let's write that down. When a company is like, hey, we want to get back to the glory days, it just reminds me of Beyond Meat. We want to get back. What is it? They want to.
No way I could pick this. Not tight.
We want to get back to bookings growth. Oh, there we go. Back to bookings growth rate. We want to get bookings growth rates back to 20% year over year. Okay. Daily active. Oh, that includes the daily active users. Oh, they want all of them to be growing at 20% a year. So obviously we're not there now. See, hours engaged were up 15%. 15% year over year. Unique players were up 30%. Or sorry, 13% year over year. Okay. And in order to do so, they're gonna rely on the AI. Hoping AI changes will help them. Yeah, good luck with that. That always makes me nervous. I like to say that too, because, you know, when a company's trying something they haven't really tried before, it'll either work or it won't. And that gives, it's kind of like when a stock is consolidating, it's like, it's either gonna go up or down. That's like a 50-50 shot. Then you're just gambling. Like, I wanna play the lines, because then I have a greater chance of winning. So, I personally don't like that they're now guessing with AI to figure out how to grow again. Reminds me of Beyond.
Anything useful?
Let's just say they moved out. Actually, you can see that here. Watch this. Trends.google.com. Beyond Meat. Go like the last period of time. Here, let's go last 5 years. The last 5 years is really when the trend peaked. And throw in food company if you want. It doesn't make much of a difference. So clearly, a little bit of a bleed out there on Beyond Meat. I wonder if Roblox is seeing that. I doubt that. It's because you got a big player base here. Oh, yeah, it's somewhat stabilizing. You're certainly not seeing that growth anymore. That's very interesting. So if we overlay the two, I actually did not suspect that. Yeah, I can't even compare the two. But that is interesting. You got that stabilizing going on. All right. So what else? And how's that stock moving right now? Yeah, stock's moving. I mean, it's moving off the... I cannot believe that this line that's like years old is in play. So whatever led us to draw it, you know, back in my day, is pretty remarkable. Okay, so what else here? We reintroduce specific gains. We're trying to operate more efficiently. This is just a way of trying to pump the bottom line. The Roblox search trend stagnating. Not great. Okay. What else here? Finally, we no longer refer to whatever. This is just talking about their EBIT. This was their guide, which we kind of already reviewed.
Don't think I can pick this.
Some accounting adjustments, whatever. I don't actually see them as having... Let's see here. Current liabilities. Oh, wow. Actually surprised they have more current liabilities. Oh, well, that's deferred revenue. Oh, that's fine. So even if I say 600, call that 600. They've got plenty of cash for the year. That's not a spread. They should be well cash flow positive. Yeah, I mean, you're almost 200 million in free cash flow. So... good for them. I mean, they're not going anywhere. It's not like they're, you know, some BK risk or whatever. Okay, let's write that down. So roughly 200 mil free cash flow. A little BK risk here. Okay. That's Roblox for you. So, Trade Desk, they had their earnings yesterday. Only moved by about 2.5%. Pretty benign mover here. BTC still can't keep it moving here. Chasing short squeezes like Roblox. Yep.
Later on.
Yeah.
You're a second about to leave.
Go watch Peter Schiff, Bitcoin debate. What? I've been at Peter Schiff's house twice. There's a limit. Like, I have sat at the dinner table with my boy Peter Schiff and his son debating Bitcoin. Am I really enthused to spend 2 hours watching two people debate gold and Bitcoin? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alright.
Well, this was a waste of time.
So where were we? So you buying gold? I don't have any exposure to gold other than there's this tiny little macro hedge to the gold miner, Barrick Gold, but actual gold itself, nope. I'm not here to poop on metals. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. It hasn't been my thing. Commodities. Except for uranium. Where's Steve? Usually when I talk rocks, he spawns in.
Go there.
Oh look, Tesla's actually green in the pre-market. That's wild. Yeah, dropping under the 174 was not great yesterday.
There.
So we were riding that until after market. So we'll get to play these two lines again today probably. Look at that. You get the surge as soon as you get the breakout here. Perfectly to the 175 line. The lines work. Trust the lines. Every time I trade not respecting the lines, I get burned. When I trade with the lines, I win more often. So the lines are great. All right, what are the cues today? What trend are we gonna get today? We got 27 minutes to go. Okay, cues positive by 12 bips. ARM recovering over here. Robin the Hood, capping out a little. Apple, flattish. How did they do yesterday? Oh, okay, up 19 bips yesterday after the iPad event. You know, everybody's freaking out about like, oh, the next iPad's lighter or whatever and thinner. And I'm like, are you smoking dope? Like, it's a 15% weight difference. This thing, they're like, oh, it's only 582 grams or whatever. And I'm like, bro, this is like 680 grams. Assuming this was a big one. This is not actually a big one, but the iPad Pro 12.9 model or whatever. I have a lot of them. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I don't know. I was looking for more out of it. Let's just say. I get it. You know, 4x on the graphics, 50% faster compute. But it's also pricey. You know, I was looking at it. Let's go do it together. Apple.com. So you go into here, you get the 13-inch model, and you really have to like restrict yourself on the size. Because look at this. I've never seen this before. If you take all of the options on this, every option possible, if you take just all of them, okay, with the exception of the accessories, you're looking at $2,600. That's some big peepee right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we're gonna buy it, right? Anyway. All right. Okay, let's go in over here.
The euro and the yen inverted there, have been dropping because the Fed's been raising rates and you get more money and more interest in the United States than other places. We saw that today. Bank of England on hold, but everybody thinks they might cut, so the pound goes down. And at this point, this is a problem for those countries, but it also starts to be a problem for us. If we continue to have problems selling exports overseas, it's going to hurt the manufacturing numbers that we might have seen a little bit of in the ISM last week.
Nobody wants to challenge that strong dollar policy, do they, Mike? Let's see until it bites in the proverbial. Now, you mentioned the Bank of England, Mike, so it's worth just checking in some of those cross assets this morning. You've got sterling back to flat 124.95. The Bank of England Governor Bailey, who we'll sit down with a little bit later on, he's optimistic that things are moving in the right direction. A rate cut in June is neither ruled or planned. And there was a bit of a shift. The Deputy Governor inside the Bank of England moves and joins the external member, calling for an immediate cut. So the narrative is building on that. Euro slightly better bid against sterling, and 10-year yields flat at the moment, but a great deal of the dovishness was already in the price. Katie Kaminsky and Colin Martin are my guests this morning. To the global aspect of this, there's the Bank of England sounding more dovish. The Riksbank cut. The ECB are presumed to cut earlier. We are moving towards a global rate resetting narrative, Katie. How important is that for overall growth momentum to sustain? Because it does all feed back and wash back into the US at some stage.
Yes, and I mean, I think it's important you bring this up. And if you look at those economies that have already started to push more towards cuts, they're seeing less growth than what we're seeing in the US. And that's why there's definitely a much more tricky picture, and it might take a little bit longer for the US to be able to cut rates. The market wants it. I think the Fed wants it. But in general, the data hasn't shown yet. We also point out, if you look at countries like the UK and Sweden, example, they have a lot of floating rate mortgages. So they have definitely seen a bigger impact in their housing sector than we have seen in the US. So I think there's just differences across these countries where, in terms of how quickly they're going to be able to normalize rates.
Look, absolutely. And the argument is here in the United States, everybody, not everybody, but a great many people went through the remortgaging process at those lower rates. Colin, you know, the Fed could be the last central bank standing, the last hawk stand.
Yeah, and that keeps the dollar higher relative, so more FX impact, but that's true.
It's on treasury bonds, on
Get into
treasury
position.
other government bonds, and also for the dollar as well.
Over here.
Yeah, that's right. If we look at the global bond landscape, the gap between U.S. yields and global bond yields, it has rewidened recently. And I think that's one thing that could keep a lid on our yields should we get some upside economic surprises where there might be some foreign buying, especially if we get closer to those 5% levels on intermediate and long-term bonds. I think that's a psychological level that a lot of investors are interested in. So I think that's important. Going back to your comments about the dollar has been strong. We saw it drop a little bit this morning with the initial jobless claims number, but there can be benefits to that in terms of inflation, where it does negatively impact exports, but it can positively impact imports. And we know that we're trying to bring inflation down, and the stronger dollar can help that to a degree in terms of import prices.
Colin, just before we move on, what is it that retests 5% in the 10-year government bond yields? Because we've had, as I say...
Oh, you'd have to have bad CPI data.
...word at the moment. But what is it that spooks me back to 5% on 10s?
Listen like crazy.
Well, I want to make it clear, it doesn't spook us. We don't think it's happening. But what could happen if the economy were to not just remain as resilient as it is, but really reaccelerate, and then we'd likely need to see a reacceleration in inflation, even just modestly, which would reprice expectations for the Fed to not just be a higher for longer policy, but actually start to see more rate hikes coming down the pipeline. Doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, unlikely. Same thesis though. Okay, let's look at here for a moment. I'm just looking at the Robinhood earnings call, and I have to say this is really incredible. So look at this. They have an annualized recurring subscription rate of approaching $100 million. So in other words, you wake up Jan 1, you basically already have nearly $100 million expected to come in.
Take anything good.
Gold subscription tier at Robinhood, which is really, really incredible. Now, I suppose I should also look at their financials because I know they spend money like crazy.
Move here.
Robinhood, investor relations. But I really like what they do with their app. Yep. And I've always been, I don't use it, but I'm a big fan of them. Let's go in over here. So, total net revenues, $618 million. Their operating expenses, $460. Look at that. That's profit, baby. 18 cents a profit per share. That's pretty good. I mean, you're straight into net income here. And look at how they like crush their G&A spend. They crushed their G&A spend 82%. Vlad just went in there and impaled the staff. Woo! Vlad, the impaler of employees. Oh.
And yet, without sort of putting you into the box of talking about specifics, I look at overnight what has happened with Airbnb. That's consumer. Uber, that's also pressure. Disney, subscriber numbers, parks were resilient. But at Starbucks, at McDonald's, there are... If you underwhelm, if you underperform, if you underdeliver, you really are getting a pretty big pressure pushback from the market, aren't you, Katie?
Yes, I would agree. I mean, if the consumer starts to waver even more, that would definitely be something to be concerned about. That would eventually trickle into growth and will affect companies.
Well, that is what we're seeing at companies like Etsy and Shopify, now even Roblox. So, you know, you might start seeing those cracks.
Something that might be pro rate cuts sooner. So I think it's bad news is good news on the consumer side, but hopefully we don't have that.
We're always trying to sort of find out where the next risk is, whether it's systemic or idiosyncratic. I'm just wondering, we wrote the big tape, not me, but the team here at Bloomberg, and talked about the phantom debt, the buy now, pay later, and anybody who's lived through 2008 on the mortgage crisis, anybody who's lived through 2000 in terms of the dot-com bust. Colin, what did you make of the buy now, pay later? I mean, the Fed doesn't seem to be too worried about private credit and those kind of areas, but buy now, pay later, some of the numbers are quite chunky.
Yeah, I saw that article yesterday, and what I guess makes me a little bit nervous is that we don't have a full picture of what's going on underneath the surface. So if it is in fact a really large amount of debt that's out there that we're not seeing in terms of what consumer credit looks like, then that would be a risk. You know, what I think is a good thing, if we look at the data that is available, we did get consumer credit earlier this week, and it rose at a pretty small amount, especially with credit cards and that type of revolving debt. And I think that's a good thing, because if we look at what's been powering the economy lately, the consumer remains strong, consumption remains strong. But if we do see a slowdown in
now, what do you mean if we do see a slowdown? You're already starting to see it, man. You just got to open up your eyes and pay attention. How many earnings calls have you read this last week? My guess is 0. How many earnings calls have I read in the last 2 minutes? The answer is 1. Because I've been reading it just now. Anyway, somebody here in the chat is asking about the Airbnb lines. These are where I have my Airbnb lines. And so for me, this 147.25 line is really in play today. Are you going to break that 147 line and actually get some buy the dippins? And is this going to recover into the open? Or if you get rejected here, you could be going right back to 139. We'll see what happens over here. The only thing to save this collapsing financial system, you know, Farmer, I was thinking about you yesterday, because Lauren's like, I want to buy a lot of lemons. And I'm like, what do you mean? You want like a bucket of like lemons? You want to make lemonade? She's like, no, I want to buy this lot of land that has a bunch of lemon trees on it. I go, that's very different than what I first thought. But anyway, I'm like, I don't know anything about lots or lemons. I'd have to talk to a farmer. Here you go. But anyway, I think the only thing to save this collapsing financial system would be keeping rates at this rate for 10 years and stop the government overspending. Yeah, then you basically force a recession, squeeze out all the froth and the waste, and then sort of try to... I mean, you've been listening to Peter Schiff, haven't you? Like, you must let the pain happen so everything can normalize. I mean, that's how you kill zombie companies. It's how you kill bad business ideas. Hear that? So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It hurts people, right? Because you lose jobs and then it's painful. How does this week's earnings season compare with the start of the season? Worse. Yeah, definitely. It's worse because it's showing you more pain on the consumer discretionary side. Well, what about going short Salesforce? I don't know. You know, I don't know that. I mean, they haven't moved too high lately, have they? Or maybe they have. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to them much. Oh no, they have. Oh, I haven't paid attention to them in a long time. Oh, look at that. I mean, like Look at the fibbies again. You can't make up the lines. You can't make this up. Look at that. Almost a perfect rejection right here on the week chart. And then where does it go? Right to the next line. Trust the lines. Can't help you with lemons. I'm more of a corn and wheat type of guy.
Sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So where are we? Cues being boring. Oh, man. You need to entertain me. I want to be entertained. I'll just go visit Ben Mala. You know what you need to be entertained? 2 coffees. Because one old coffee, because they're both coffees, is better than, just one new one alone. So this is gonna be cold and nasty. Tastes like stale pool water. That's really bad. That's gross. Now I'm gonna get a parasite in my brain. Ay. Was that guy who sent that tweet about the hole in Kennedy's brain? That was crazy. Yeah. You either die a Kennedy with a hole in the brain, or you live long enough to become a Kennedy with a hole in the brain. This is Mike Cullen, proudly serving Georgia.
Fine.
All right.
We'll do this later.
Very interesting.
I want that interview.
So anyway, let's go to CNV Sizzle.
House, which we've recreated, the Prince Purple Rain House. And what this gym really represents, I think, is the beginning of the next chapter of Airbnb. Because we've been known for stays, but now Airbnb is starting to move into experiences. And we're starting with just, 4,000 people can do these this year, whether you want to stay at the Ferrari Museum or the X Mansion, which is completely recreated like you're stepping into a comic. But eventually what we want to do is be able to bring the magic of icons to millions of people around the world. And I think there's just a sense of where we're going as a company.
Well, I think this is really important because there are people obviously want to focus on something that does matter because you own this, obviously you have a company with a stock, and that next quarter does seem, you did say things could be a little lighter, and there is a concern, whether it be from, if we listen to Expedia, we listen to Hyatt, the RevPAR, we listen to Marriott, we do get a sense that travel has slowed, and I don't know whether to lump you into that, particularly American travel, or just say, listen, you've got to see through this little valley because we've got a brand new Airbnb that's very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, Jim, as you and I used to talk before we went public, we were basically break even when we went public. And the big question was, would we ever be a profitable company? And in 3 years, we made so much progress focusing on this, and now we have 41% free cash flow margin. So today, we are now at the beginning of this next step. And the question is, what's next for Airbnb? And the answer is there's going to be a lot more coming over the next couple of years. New products, new services, and I'm very confident that we can re-accelerate growth.
Well, I want to talk about icons again because one of the things that I now find to be, let's say, incredibly important is before I start my travel trip, I have to go to icons to see if there is something.
All right, hold on. This is boring. So I'm going to go to something more entertaining. And what's more entertaining than good old Tesla fun?
Kevin must be showing Tesla again.
Good Lord, people have a problem with facts. All right, so Rich Auto. Dude, I want that name. Head of product launches at Tesla is leaving the company after 7 years following the firing of the entire supercharger team, which negatively impacted morale. No duh. I mean, my morale would be in the toilet if the company was getting gutted, especially when you're getting Biden bucks for the superchargers and you're still firing people at the supercharger team. After nearly 7 years, last week I resigned from Tesla. Why leave? It's a company I love. It has given me so much, but it's taken its pound of flesh. Great companies are made up of equal parts of great people and great products, and the great products are only possible when people are thriving. The recent layoffs that are rocking the company and its morale have thrown this harmony out of balance, and it's hard to see the long game. It was time for a change. That's bad. when the head of product launches, which should be there with like robo-taxis, frankly. When the head of product launches is like, peace, bitches. That's bad. Goodness gracious. What makes Tesla special is to collaborate with anyone in culture. Okay, ready for like a DEI job or something? Thank you to everyone who took the time to teach me something over the last 7 years. I'm hopeful that Tesla can get back on its feet soon. What am I not gonna miss? Definitely not the coffee. Okay. Serious question. How do you know it negatively impacted morale? Dog lover, fan of renewable energy, investor. I always worry that that's like the top of the market when people put investor in their bio. It's in the text. The recent layoffs that are rocking the company and its morale have thrown the harmony out of balance. You give the impression of having an anti-Tesla bias. No, I'm pro-Tesla, but I don't agree with some of Elon's decisions. I mean, good for you, Troy. Dude, the amount of shit this guy gets is sad. Are you pro-Tesla? Yes, I'm pro-Tesla. Why are you posting this? Because it's Tesla-related news that people should know about. I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, Sawyer will only post good things about Tesla. Well, maybe that's not fully true, but I do find that a lot. But that's how you get popularity, is you only talk about the good things. This is sad. I mean, let's just try to objectively think about it. The number of people leaving Tesla is just sad. You know, I know some people are like, oh, well, Elon's back in charge and he's cleaning house. Well, where the hell was he? You know, it's kind of like, you know, it's like you're the captain of the Titanic, you know, and you got this big, beautiful ship, and everybody's so proud of you, and you're sleeping. You're sleeping on the job. You're in the birds. You're not even in the bird's nest. You're down, you know, in first class, playing with some of the guests. Okay, that could sound wrong. Never mind. You're being entertained with some of the guests, and you're not paying attention. Busy doing other crap, and then all of a sudden you go back to the bridge and you're like, what the hell's going on here? It's not a good look. It is sad. It's such a great company, but there's definitely some problems going on. Anyway, so okay, what's going on here? Queues. Let's see here. Q's, 11 bips. You've got 61.3 on the BT Sizzle. A lot of people very emotional about Tesla. Yeah. Well, people get married to a stock. Yeah, it's very dangerous. That's how to lose money. You got to be fact-driven. ARM. Affirmadoozles, Enphase, Nvidia. This is a boring market open so far. Where's the entertainment? I guess there's some on Roblox, and I don't mean the games. I mean the stock. AMC is down about 4.7. Well, because they're running out of cash. Out of cash. Ugh. Not good. Sunrun? How did Sunrun do? You just have to. I don't like Sunrun. Oh, they're up 4%. Well, good for them. It doesn't change my opinion. 5 minutes to go for the opening bell. Yesterday, Trump says he liked crypto. Well, probably because he's mad at J-Pow. Let me see. Wait, did Trump mention something about Joe Biden? Joe Biden's like is a hilarious meme coin. Joe Biden. Let's see here. Let me get it on CoinMarketCap. Biden. It's the new Pepe. Oh, okay. It's not at all-time highs, but here it is. Joe Biden. So what did he say? That's an interesting photo they have here. I don't like that investment, said of the token mocking its rival Joe Biden. Trump also said he's open to cryptocurrency donations. Okay. Joe Crypto, referring to a misspelling of Joe Biden's name, surged as much as 25% after President Donald Trump responded to a fan's question about it. I don't like that investment, Trump said in an impromptu audience Q&A after an attendee described Biden to him and said it had a $240 million market cap. Can we donate using crypto? I'll make sure you can. That's it. So a fan asked about it, and Trump said, I don't like it, and it went up 25%. Seems about right. It seems about right.
Inflation is over there. They are rolling prices back. But most importantly, did non-foods increase mid-single digit? That's not unusual. Everybody knows they're great for food. Sundries up mid-single digit. But how about this? For the first time in several years, toys did well. Now, toys have been an area of really kind of a black hole. Now, we know Mattel's really kind of flattening, but Hasbro's making a comeback here, so it might be a good read-through to Hasbro. If you look at Costco, this company bottomed around 717. It's ran up ever since then. Possibility of there's always possibility of a membership increase, but they are what the Fed needs more than anything else in the world. A company that just says, that goes to suppliers and says, no, we're not taking that price. You're lowering your price. So I salute Costco, great numbers.
And you still feel comfortable with the stock, even up, look at that, I mean 57% over the last year.
I feel very comfortable.
It's quite a move.
I know the multiple's very high,
yes,
but I think they offer such a bargain. By the way, this gold thing that they've done was just brilliant. You know, you buy gold.
The multiple is so high, and I don't think the gold thing actually makes them any money, but it does potentially get them more subscribers.
Insta reporting after the bell last night.
Yes, I think Costco is overvalued, but
guide Q2 above as I see.
They are being very good at new partnerships. I mean, by the way, they have a Kroger deal. They have a CPG, consumer packaged goods deal that is very good. They did an excellent job.
They just did that deal with Uber that we were talking about earlier in the week.
That was very important.
Uber Eats.
They're hustlers. I didn't. Now, there's an upside surprise me. They are hustlers, and I did not see that they would put together such a great quarter because I had felt that they were a little static. That was quite wrong. The numbers there are very good.
Yesterday was a tough day for the e-commerce ETFs, given Shop and Trip were really
right. Now, Trip was so disappointing because they put themselves up for sale and nobody came, and that's got to be a real bummer. I noticed that we got an upgrade for Shop. I mean, a couple. Look, Shopify, there was a call. Now, Harley did not, when I tried to press him on the 0.5 gross margin decline, he did not really, wasn't, let's say, as definitive as on the call, where they said it's lower margin business that's hurting us. But Max Levchin, who is a partner in the firm, when he had said this, the transaction continues.
Shopify gets upgraded over at JMP. Let's get the opening bell and the CNBC Real-Time Exchange is big board. It's the Children's Tumor Foundation and the NASDAQ Global Infrastructure Company.
All right, boys and girls, it's time to go to work. There goes Airbnb trying to push over 147.25. Breaks out of that. That'll be interesting. We've got BT Sizzle trying to move. It's not really going anywhere. 613, not a great spot. Q is trying to find a direction to go at 16 bips to start the day. Trade Desk, green candle. Affirm tries to go a little green after its crazy drop yesterday. Enphase can't stay around 113. Danger, danger. No lines close. 907 for Nvidia. Okay. Not a great place here for Tesla. Probably it might end up dropping right back to 174. But this is too tight of a range for me. I don't want to play it between $1.40 here, because then what happens is people pre-buy it here and pre-sell it here. It's way too tight of a trading range for me for Tesla today. We'd really have to break out or fall through a line here, but I don't know if you'll have enough momentum to go in either direction. let's go Amazon. Honestly, Amazon to me, oh, I want more of it. But then again, you know, you have to be careful. I mean, they make money on the consumer now. They really, I think they're going to be moving into the staples category from the discretionary category, and you've got the AI data center tailwind, which I do think will get commoditized. But I like Amazon in a portfolio. I never used to. And so as soon as they went profitable on their merchandise store, that got me really excited. That's called Amazon.com, by the way. Anyway, so yeah, Q's only 8 bips. Yeah, Robinhood can't keep it up. ARM can't stay over 100. What's Roblox up to? Let's see. I need a play, baby. Roblox is rising. Look at that bounce off that line right there. That's the play right there. I want to see if in the first 15 minutes I could get a revisit to 26.59 so I could go calls on this baby. I don't know if I'm going to get that, but could be interesting. So I'm going to watch the Robloxizzles. Try to get it back to 35 bucks. ARM. I don't really want to go into it now, though. I always get nervous the first minutes of trade. Because, look, you start getting a bleed on the Qs here, which we've already bled like 7 bips. Maybe it'll start running again. But BTC is my bad omen. And, Roblox keeps pushing. Wait. Nope, never mind. Here come the red candlesticks. Come on, baby. All the way down. Just go down to 26.59. Then call me. And then I will call you. See? Anyway, yeah, Q's about to go red as the BT sizzle forecast. Yeah, Airbnb gets magnetoed right back to 147. That's the point of the lines. Facebook is down about 40 bips. Microsoft, dude, they are never going to be able to break 420, are they? It seems like they just keep getting rejected at 420. Reject, reject, reject. I reject you. Come on, NVIDIA. If NVIDIA goes red today with the Qs, we're going to 985. And if we break 985, we're going to 950. Then I'll put my money on it. It's like the Ben Malas coming through. All right, here we go. Here's the 174 line. Is it gonna hold it? Is it gonna hold it, or are we gonna get the bounce, or are we gonna fall through it? Because if you fall through it, it could be another negative 3% day today. Oh, it's starting. It's just the minute. It's just the minute candlestick. You really gotta wait for the 5-minute candlestick to be sure. But it's. Let's see what the other ones are doing. BTC's Omen continues to be bad. The Q's trying to come up again a little bit. Robloxizzles. I can't really pull it down where I want it to be. This is gonna go to 92 bucks is my guess. Do I have a line there? No, I have a line at 98, but 92 is where we topped out just a few days ago. So, wouldn't be surprised to revisit that. I'm actually surprised the ARM pump here. Well, maybe, like, fundamentally, I really like ARM. But, you are seeing some pessimism around AI. I was pessimistic about a month ago, then I started getting these earnings, and I'm like, no, they're actually still pretty damn good. Now, can I really go long ARM? Not really. I think there's still too much volatility risk in that one. That you know, I'd rather pick some of the other AI names, but mostly because of that SoftBank ownership. Uh-oh, Tesla. So, we shall see. Yeah, you're not getting enough momentum here to actually really get you up. And you're gonna go negative on the Qs. That's not good. BTC is screaming down. Let's see what happens. Okay, what's actually rising today? So, rising today is Zim. Ooh, Zim. Then you've got Robin the Hood. Yeah. What a great way to pump gold subscribers, pitching the gold card, and I don't think anybody's actually really gotten it yet. True. 50% now. People chasing the hood. Trade Desk up 4%, Celsius 4%, Open Door, should be closed door, 3.2%. How's Carvana? Still think that company's a scam, my opinion. I want to just like short the crap out of this company. But then again, you know, you could try that on like I guess if I had to pick between Costco and Carvana. Carvana, I think, has substantially more rapid downside because all it's gonna take is one bad report and that sucker's down like 50%. Costco, the downside is limited, even though it's so overvalued.
Wait there.
Oh, good.
Come on.
So, ooh, Q's.
Lost the lead.
Over here.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna go back down to 438. That's where we were yesterday. Not like really moving anywhere. How about Wing? Wingstop? Now that company sucks, but the stock keeps going up. I hate this one. Oh well. Probably a Chipotle sympathizer. Okay, alright, still down over here on the Q's. And yep, Roblox. Come on, baby. Come on. The purple line's right there. You're moving in the right direction. Airbnb down about 7%.
Grab anything useful.
Kind of sitting at the line. Yeah. Okay. Reddit gives up 4.5%. And they actually had pretty good earnings there. Palantir drops another 1.5%. Another one. Okay. All right. Well, see what happens. So, ooh, Robinhood just red candlestick. All right. Now what? So we talked Joe Biden. Let's see what news there is. I need news. This is boring. Like, you know when Donald Trump responding to a question about Joe Biden is news. It must not be a lot of news. Must be a slow day. Just saying. Wall Street validates Fed bets. I don't care.
Freaking literally just
World interest rate probability.
Power Armor.
Now it's at 1.81.
Power Armor.
For rate cuts at the end of the year. What else? Magnificent Seven insiders sell stocks for the first time in years. Yeah, saw that. Let's see. What else? I don't know.
This place don't have a
Robinhood. What the hell? That's just like, you know, sometimes you have to remember, you have this environment of people doing a lot of buying in pre-market or post-market, and then the institutions come in and just poop on that. So I don't know if that's what's going on here, but I do know that the Qs are falling down. The Bitcoin omen continues, and this really sets up for. I mean, it's gonna be a little tough to pull calls in this sort of environment when Bitcoin's just telling you we are going down, and the Qs are following its lead. So is Robinhood. You know, Roblox is really stabilizing in this range here, which isn't great for playing opposites. You can't get a consolidation this early. I need more momentum. That's not gonna work. Sometimes you play a trade because you think you see a momentum, and if the momentum dies, you have to get out. Like, I'll show you yesterday. So we did this yesterday, okay? We did this live. So, like, this is not hindsight. You could literally watch me talk about this live in the course member live stream yesterday. You join the courses, you get access to all the course member lives going all the way back to like 2018 or something. So this was our trade yesterday, okay? You want to see it? So yesterday, we're trading, we were getting positive signals on BTC and the Qs. The market started rallying at the beginning of the day. And I look at Enphase, and I'm like, okay, we're trading under the 113 line. That's great. So this was Enphase. Okay, yeah, I can see it in 1 minute. So we're trading under the 113 line, which is fantastic. That's all I cared about yesterday was that 113.39 line. And so I see us get rejected here, and then I start going for buys. Right here, and I'm like, I think we're gonna break out. I go for buys. So I put about $14,000 on a bet that we're gonna have a breakout. We get a breakout, and I'm like, I really want to hold this. Like, I think we could break out and push to 118. But then I started seeing this sideways consolidation, and I'm like, the momentum is lagging. At the same time, Nvidia tops out, the Qs top out, BTC tops out, and I'm like, no, sell. And I take my profits. So, you know, whatever, made, you know, $3,700 on 14 or whatever. Great, took my profits. If I didn't fat finger, it would have been more like an $8,000 profit day, which would have been great. Whatever, I was still up, so it's fine. It was up enough to cover my fat finger. Okay, mind you, we're like live trading this in the Course Member Live yesterday. I close my position, and I'm like, after you get a consolidation like this, it can go up or it can go down. But there's not enough momentum for the bet that I made to keep going. So sure enough, and this happens live, after I close, it goes up more. And then it's like, ugh, which is fine, because you have a 50-50 shot of that. But watch what happens afterwards. The TA was right. Bleed, 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 bleed. Can't get above 113 anymore. Theta decay on the option would have killed you, and then if you held it, you would have gotten killed even more as you're getting killed today. So that was a big red flag. We traded that live yesterday. So if you want to be part of that, make sure you go to meetkevin.com and you join those. Oh, look at that. What a surprise. What did I say? If we break 895, it's bad. You could be going to 850 again here. I don't know if you'll go to 850 today. Probably not enough catalyst to go to 850 today. But I think there's a good chance you could go to 850 within the next week over here with that kind of read. That's no bueno. So let's see. 895 is a level though, so it might go back up to 895. So I'm gonna watch it. I don't even have a line draw for that. Oh wow! Look at the Qs. They dumped right back to my line, perfectly to my line. We were just over here. I'm like, I think it's gonna go back to the 438 line. There it is. Oh wow! Just during that explanation, Hood gave up. Wait, that means Roblox might be nope. Roblox nope. I can't play that. Too consolidated. But the Bitcoin Omen works again. The Bitcoin Omen. If you're not watching the Bitcoin Omen when you're trading, you're getting screwed. Somebody says, yeah, coupon code expires this Friday. Nah. It's actually the 15th is when the next coupon will expire. That's CPI day. So you got a few days. But, you know, earlier you get in, the more content you get to be a part of. So, all right. Robin the Hood, 30%. This is very interesting. Right on my line on the Qs. So now the question is, what direction do we go? I don't know, Bitcoin Omen. You tell me. Bitcoin Omen says, it doesn't know yet. Okay. That's bad. Good. Where's the movement today? That's not good either. Only 174 Tesla here. Bad line to the under. So Zim, Robinhood, let's stay green. Roblox smash, not good. How's ARK been doing? Arkadoozles, day chart. Oh, it also plays the lines. 52. I don't even remember drawing that line. It's not as perfect as you'd think, this line, but it's good enough. Good enough. That's really interesting. Okay. Cost of a co. Yeah, nope. Nope. Bitcoin Omen keeps going. Down. Short. Puts. I buy puts. The market going to trash today. We are going to break the line. You are not holding the line. What are you doing? Oh man. The first 15 minutes of trading are always nuts. Straight down. Everything. Except for Costco. But that's just to spite me. Oh, does not go back to 895. Actually, instead, just breaks 890 on NVIDIA. It's going back to 850, boys and girls. Who reports today? Who could save the day? Can anyone save the day? Alibaba announced their own AI that beats GPT-4 right next to Dung Schlung, who says, "Man, you are effing cringe." Thank you. Thanks for watching. Alibaba announces their own AI that beats GPT-4. Let's see. Alibaba AI. Alibaba. Ooh. Dow slips for first time in 7 days as fresh earnings dampen sentiment. Who reports today? Sun Life, Telus, blah, 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 Warner Brothers. Earnings today are boring.
Hey.
Alibaba Cloud on Thursday says its large language model has seen more than 90,000 deployments in companies across the industry. Alibaba Cloud, remarkable advancements in reasoning, code comprehension, textual understanding. Appears better than GPT-4 capabilities, but worse in reasoning and math. I feel like they're talking about like a human. Oh yeah, they're good at reading, but they're bad at math. See how the Baba's doing. Baba. Baba's up 71 bits today. Share the coffee brand. You're asking me to share the coffee brand because you know what it is. You know what the coffee brand is, and you're trying to make me look like a fool. Everybody knows what this coffee brand is. And I hate it. Except I drink it. Damn Costco. Dude, Robinhood. Oh my god. What? Their valuation. Cup of coffee do you drink? Yes. You know, it's kind of like Mikey yesterday. We were talking about Charlie Munger the post-close live stream, and he's like, Kevin, your favorite investor is like Warren Buffett, right? I'm like, yeah, Warren Buffett's great, love Warren Buffett. He's like, you know who my favorite underground investor is? I don't know, who's that, Mikey? Charlie Munger. Anyway, can't really run a valuation on Robinhood because, well, you know, it's barely profitable. But it's probably, I mean, if I annualize this quarter, which I don't think I should, but if I annualize this quarter, I'm probably trading for about 27 times. But that's annualizing this quarter, and I don't know what their growth is going to be like. I mean, that's the other big question of forecast times. Francesca just took it to the next level. That joke kills. Stop. Where are we, Boeing? Okay, stop. Now we're feeding into the cringe. Damn it. Oh, it's bleeding out. Come on, baby. 26.59. 26.59. Ay. Okay. More coffee. Hey! Look at that. BTC wants to rebound. Okay. Goes. Bump it. Is it gonna pop above my line here? What can we buy calls on? Too soon for Roblox? Probably. Roscoe keeps going. Views are going up. BTC's going up. Trade Desk's not. ARM? No. Don't like that pattern. Where's Nvidia? Enphase? Tough. Ooh, a little green candlestick there on Nvidia. I don't know. Probably get Tesla back to 174. Ooh, Amazon. What happened there? That's weird. Etsy. Wow, after that earnings call? Okay. Whatever. Doesn't make sense sometimes. Doesn't have to. Yeah, Enphase down 3%. So all the spark lines, mostly red over here. Western Digital trying to U-turn a little bit. Roblox not yet. Still down 23.5. And Affirm's really what's pushing it here. All right, let's listen in to the Doomers for a moment, and then we're gonna do the delicious music.
And the other big thing that we're kind of watching for with Warner is this pending NBA deal negotiation. So they currently have a deal with the NBA. They're supposed to renew it, but they might lose it out to NBC. And that, again, kind of puts their TV network business in peril.
Yeah, that could be a flesh wound. Geeta, we'll track that story. Geeta Raghunathan there. Some sector price action for you before we go. Abby is with me side by side.
Yes, in fact, let's take a look at the sectors. We have the S&P 500 up slightly right now, up about 0.1%, but it is a broad-based gain, as small as it may be. Now, to the downside, on the other hand, we have some laggards.
I don't see this as a broad-based gaining day.
And the other three sectors that are lower also by very small amounts. To the upside, we have real estate, energy, healthcare, consumer staples. That real estate really doing quite well, up 1.5% on the morning. This as yields are a bit mixed, so it's gives a little...
Real estate's done really well as a sector, mind you, like REITs and stuff. Pretty good sector.
On pace for a 7th up day in a row, the longest winning streak just since April 25th, and that's because this stock or this sector over the last 4 weeks higher. This is the first 4-week winning streak for the utilities index, Manus, going all the way back to 2022. Now, some see this as
That could have been a false bounce. Look at that. The BTC's already going back down. And you've got the Qs that are starting to form that down again. Robinhood is literally about to go negative. That's insane. They were up like 8% in the pre-market, and they're literally about to go negative. Oh, wow. Yeah, Roblox consolidating. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. Tough directions here. It's always the, ooh, ARM wants to pop a little bit out of nowhere there. Trade Desk's about to go negative? Man! What a day. This is like bizarro land. Nvidia's trying to pop. That seems like dramatic, but it's still at 889. There, oh, Tesla right back to the 174. Said. Alright. If you're in the Stocks Insight group, I'll send an alert for whatever I decide to trade today. Got my eye on a few different options here. Literally. And, yeah, whatever you do trade today, good luck. Let's push the button! Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is neither personalized financial advice nor real estate advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show should not be deemed endorsed by me. This video is not and shall never be deemed research information for the purpose of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products or services which we may benefit from. I personally operate and actively manage ETF and hold long positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuers other than HouseHack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. Yeah, buddy. All right, there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the course member live stream after I make another cup of coffee. Can you spell cuppa? C-U-P-P-A-H? Something like that. Anyway, that BTC omen keeps going. Alright, folks. We will see you soon. Goodbye.
Good morning from from our global headquarters in New York, I'm Manus Crenny. Welcome to Bloomberg Brief. Let's set your agenda. President Biden warns the U.S. will hold back more weapons if Israel invades Rafah. He calls the potential loss of civilian life just wrong. Armed tumble is after giving a lackluster annual revenue forecast, raising concerns that the tech industry's AI spending spree may and the BOE expected to hold rates steady today, but Governor Bailey may signal when the central bank is ready to start cutting rates. A very good morning to you. We've stalled. We've stalled in the bond markets. We've paused in the rally in the equity markets. We're down 1/4%. ARM missed on the guidance, and down she went, tanking at one stage by 10%, down 8.25% at the moment. So there's just a bit of a headwind. There's a headwind in the bond market. Yields are rising ever so slightly. Equities pause for thought. With that in mind, we're talking about the float. Citi say the float. There's limited enthusiasm in terms of participating. New longs have drained. On Airbnb, down 7.79%. Again, slowdown in booking ahead of the summer. US consumer, that's when you get up. Bonds rise, yields rise and dropping these 5 straight days. The demand was tepid. What does tepid mean? It's a bid-to-cover ratio of 2.49, pretty much in line. It just wasn't enough to drive the yields lower. $25 billion worth of 30-year paper come today. Let's see whether we can absorb that easily. We're counting down to the Bank of England. We're catching with Lizzie Burden a little bit later on. Sub 125, 124.74. How dovish a tilt is already in this price. Will there be a split in the vote? So we're talking about central banks. The Bank of England, that piece of theory will come a little bit later on. But to the Fed and the Fed's policy signal more confidence is needed that inflation is moving towards 2% before moving on.
Around that outlook, and the recent data leads me to believe
Henrietta Buckham is the head of global fixed income at Allspring Global Investors. Henrietta, welcome to the show. Good to see you this morning. So there's a hesitancy in Holland, and that's a very narrative from everybody. In your view, these insurance cuts have re-entered the market, 2 cuts. Is that what you see, or what does higher for longer really mean for you in your position?
Yes, we've had a backup in rates, and we peaked out on the 10-year in the US at about 470, and we're about 20 basis points above that at this point. And yes, I agree. The latest inflation prints that we've seen have been a little higher than expected, particularly on the US side, and that's what the central banks are reacting to at this point. So it's pushed out rate cuts. For us, it's going to be 1 or 2, possibly starting in the autumn or December, because we've got the US elections, which is going to take the cut out.
I thought her language was particularly rich. She talked about a methodical perseverance to take time, and it's going to continue. It's going to be uneven. I'm curious to understand what you see as being some impacts. US exceptionalism seems to be showing the initial chinks in the armor. And this is a refreshing opinion, because everybody, a man and woman, come on this show and they evangelize that exceptionalism. What is it that's potentially breaking there in that vision?
So it's been really interesting, really, in the last few weeks,
inflation perspective, it looks a bit more like the US. So that's the kind of dynamic that the Bank of England is looking to deal with at this point in time.
I love the phrase that you have here, that the US is detaching itself from the rest of the world, and it seems to be having more trouble with sticky inflation. And that really sort of plays to what you just said. The UK is ahead, Europe is ahead on that front. What is it that's going to materially shift the inflation outlook here? I've had various people say to me it's the housing component, it's the services inflation. But what is it in your mind will shift the gears for the Fed to enable them to pull the trigger on the dry powder that they have?
So, two things. Obviously, the housing piece is slower moving, and I think that's well appreciated. So for us, it really is that service component, making sure that that one is very important from a perspective down. And again, so we've got that inflation side, but also the employment side. So we're also keeping an eye out on what's happening there, because it will be very sensitive to any deterioration.
Okay, let's see what was happening back to $30 today. Thank you so much for being here. Allspring Global Investors. On the top stories for you trending on the breakdown this morning is what we've got Blackstone President John Gray saying the Fed will be patient in cutting rates due to stop inflation. He sees it making one cut this year, but exports rose slightly more than expected in April. It was a boost. Exports increased 1.5% in dollar terms versus imports climbed 8.4%. The jump in imports was largely driven by products such as chips.
Tell me this didn't just happen, fam. Stupid ass. Oh my god, I don't even want to say it out loud. Freaking capture, freaking card. It's gonna be the death of me, bro.
Coward.
That's crazy, man. I gotta get a new. It's the other weird one when I have to put together, which I don't really want to do that either. But if it will stop this shit, we'll do it. Why can't you just go to Walmart? I'll just go to Walmart and get one. Definitely probably time to get off stream if this freaking shit keeps happening. I am shocked and pissed. And now I can't hear anything. Alright. Oh no, there it goes. I switched to ports, that might help. Done. Horrible stream too. Ruined stream, bro. Freaking ruined stream because of freaking capture card, bro. That's crazy. Where's the other one, bro? Because I'm about to blow up at this point.
Want to get out of here? I don't think we'd make pretty cool.
Heads up. Heads up.
It's dumb heavy.
Look alive. Hey, Ivor.
Ready for that
Look alive.
Say the word.
Alright, y'all. I'm gonna have to end this stream because this is not gonna work out, so. I do have a. Oh, I got something better. Oh, I left the baseball thing. Yeah. And fat man. Now I see what's and no longer. Okay, where's the That's what's going on. These things are flaming me. These things are deep. We're blowing them up. Yo, we're out of work. At the wrong freaking time. Oh my god, he died. Oh my god, I've been fucking shooting this guy forever, bro. Oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? I ain't never been so pissed. Oh man. This is only 19 pounds, bro. I think that's time to cut this stream short. I need to go. Damn, I wanted that incinerator so bad, but alright, I'm probably gonna still take it. Let me just get rid of these rifles then. Oh shit, I wasn't even there? Yeah, that's crazy. Let's go all the way back to Sanctuary then. Man, my bad for the bad capture card, y'all. I'll figure it out. Trust me, I'll figure it out.
Anything I can do to lighten the load?
Oh my god, freaking. Look at all this stuff I have in here. I think it might be. Oh, my mods? No, not the mods.
Or, you know, if you need anything proofread.
You ought to be careful. I can fix most things, but people don't fix so easily. You can fix just about anything. Guns, computers, people. Just gotta have the right tools.
something up? It's pretty long from here.
I'll take a look, sure.
I got a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah, she don't have no money though. But she do has stem pack and shit, so. $276 for the incinerator. Let's be out of my mind. Ooh, keep it that way. This shit was 75. Can't believe it. Still 1,000 more. Isn't that crazy? Let's see how low I can get it to go down. Probably not that much. I'm gonna keep the automatic plasma rifles. They're only 57 each anyway. Check the board. Take 5 of the grenades. Cocktails, we have it. Pistol, have it. I don't want this. Take the plasma pistol. I don't want it. Sure, pipe rifle. Don't want it. Yeah, I'm chilling. 57 for an Enclave hat. Are you kidding me? So after all that work, they're still gonna act like I ain't get shit. Okay, okay. Y'all got it, my boy. Y'all got it. This is why I don't buy it.
Hey.
Can I do?
Hey.
Where to?
We're not gonna need got the Tesla cannon.
robot powers for good.
Heads up.
Look alive.
Say the word.
The thing is, what do I do with this thing? Like, look. Alright, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. I will bring this. Over here. This is my settlement. Right here, then.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thanks for the opportunity. Anything specific you want me to do? I'm willing to pitch in anywhere you need.
Yeah, let me show you.
Okay.
Is now hiring for a variety of positions. Apply today.
guess I'll just leave them both right here. Sure. Okay, sure.
Look alive.
Take a look. Shoot. Sure, take a peek.
Hey.
How do I get her to get out?
Hey.
Where to?
Hey.
What you got for me?
Wait there.
Okay, I'll be here then.
Piper.
Ready for that interview, Blue?
Not now, Piper.
All right, you can wait for a bit.
So I guess she just stays in there? I mean, it's cool, I guess, but...
Heads up.
You say the word.
Alright, yeah, she's stuck in there.
Heads up.
Wait.
Look alive.
Help yourself.
Look alive.
Don't mind the clutter.
That's taking a long time to fucking do. This game takes forever.
In his infinite glory, or do you seek to tear down his followers?
I'm looking for someone named Virgil.
Virgil? Yes, we know this Virgil. What do you want with him?
I just need some information from him.
He has sought refuge with Atom. I would know more before I tell you where he is. What do you want with him?
I need his help reaching the Institute.
I have heard of this Institute. They hide themselves, trying to avoid the power of Atom. A futile effort. In truth, this Virgil has caused some concern. Some believe his presence is an affront to Atom. Though he came to trade with us on a few occasions, we have had little other contact with him. It was quite clear he wanted to be left alone. You can find him southwest of the crater, living in a cave. I would approach cautiously were I you. I feel he does not want visitors.
The world will be shown Atom's glory.
broken. And this is the end.
Are you Virgil?
You know damn well I am. What are you doing here?
I need your help.
My help? With what? How did you even
You know what? This also might be it too.
Fuck, man. Wasted time. This freaking damn ass stupid ass thing, bro. Man, this is a ruined stream, bro.